and another core training protocol. Our title today, up, down, and all around. We're gonna have 2 trisets, and each of those trisets is gonna follow the up, down, all around theme. Today we complete each movement for 45 seconds, separated by a 15-second transition between movements. Our first movement is a long lever loaded step back lunge. Long lever, step back lunge. The long lever places a little bit more reliance on the trunk area as we go into the movement. An important concept here is that we want to ensure our shoulder blades stay positioned back and down, even though we're pressing the implement forward. If we continue to bring the shoulders into that forward position, we may feel some discomfort on the front part of the shoulder. Our down movement is going to be an archer push-up, and this can be completed down on the floor or elevated. We're going to descend to one arm and then over to the other arm. How far over you descend and how much weight you put onto each of those limbs is dependent on where you feel comfortable. A push-up is a moving plank, and as we load the body asymmetrically, we have more reliance on the trunk to respond to this difference in loading. We want to prepare the body for being exposed to a variety of different loads, because that's what represents more of real life. Our all-around movement is a standing halo, which is going to help with shoulder mobility, and we're going to rely on the trunk to provide this stability. You can use either a kettlebell, a household object, or even a dumbbell. The narrower the object, the more reliance on shoulder mobility. The longer or wider the object, the less reliance. We're gonna dig our feet into the floor, we're gonna squeeze our butt cheeks, we're gonna flex our abs, and we're gonna take the implement that we're using and create a huge circle, like a halo, around our head. We're gonna reverse at the halfway point. Important concept here is that we're allowing the shoulders to perform the movement and not winding through the midsection like a hula hoop. Second tricep, our up movement is an angled press. We're gonna get into a tall kneel position. We're gonna squeeze the heck out of our glutes to ensure that we put that pressure through the front part of our body. We protect the lower back. We can go with an item from the house that's relatively light, pushing our shoulder blades back and down, pressing our load forward and back to the chest. If you're feeling okay in this position and the shoulders do not have any discomfort, then you can load it with a relatively light weight. Shoulders back and down, press, and back. And back, always ensuring that we do keep those shoulders packed. The moment that we allow them to come forward, we keep the joint in a vulnerable position. Our down movement is a star bridge. We're gonna extend the arms to the side and we're gonna pull the legs apart so we're in this star position. We're gonna press our hands into the floor, press our upper back into the floor, press our heels into the floor, and drive that lower back into the ground to create that pelvic tilt that protects the lower back area and places a lot of emphasis on the front part of the core. We're then gonna drive our heels and our upper back into the ground and slightly elevate our butt off the ground, tapping our bum and our lower back to the floor and elevating again. How high you go is dependent on where you feel comfortable. Now with this movement, oftentimes we can actually light up the back of the body without actually going pretty high. So even if the bum stays in contact with the ground and you still drive through the heels and the upper back, you often will still feel this back side of the body come to life. Our all-around movement is a plank reach through, either completed from the knee-thigh area or from the toe area. We're gonna take one hand off the ground. We're gonna reach as far past the midline as we can without our torso and hips dipping into that position. Our body here is reacting to the change in the weight as we move across the midline, forcing the anti-rotation capabilities of our trunk to fire on. Today, we moved up, we moved down, and we moved all around. If you enjoyed that, give our video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel.